With so much information available at our fingertips all the time, it's a wonder how we are able to shut off our brains long enough to be able to sleep at night. We have our phones, which allow us to talk, text, Google, social network, and check the weather. Actually, there isn't much our phones can't do for us. It has become an overload on our minds and our bodies. We must be careful and pick and choose what information we want to retain and what we want to go into our brain's recycle bin. There are a few definitions for information overload. First, we have Wikipedia's, and then in the article titled Confronting Information Overload by Marcia White, she defines information overload as vast quantities of information speedily disseminated to a large and growing number of people. There is so much of everything everywhere. We really need to focus and strategize, or we will fall into the trap of information overload and perhaps become affected by the stress-related issues that have become an apparent problem because of it. We must take care of our minds and our bodies and be in control of what information we are taking in and also what we are giving out. Because of our constant and easy access to the internet, the accessibility of cheap technological devices, all the social networking sites you could wish for, online news, and who could forget the good old regular TV with shows, commercials, and news reports from stations that are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we are overloading our brains. In the article titled Information Fatigue Syndrome, What It Is and How It Affects You by Zach Miller, he uses the term information fatigue syndrome as another way to describe information overload. The author discusses the above items and why they are hindering our functionality. The brain tends to shut down over the amount of information trying to be processed. It has become a serious problem because it causes stress-related physical symptoms of information overload. These may include, but are definitely not limited to, headaches, stomach and muscle pain, weakened vision, and increased blood pressure, just to name a few. In the article titled Too Much Information, Ineffective Intelligence Collection by Alex Young, the author talks about how even our highly sophisticated government intelligence agencies experience the effects of information overload. What happens is the effects of multitasking on the brain lead to cognitive overload, which leads to added stress and indecisiveness, which again are not healthy for our minds and our bodies and lead to less productivity, time wasted, and potentially money wasted. We can reduce information overload in our emails by being concise with our messages and straightforward. When we are using the internet, we need to limit our searches by searching properly, using the right search words, so we don't end up with a bunch of useless information. We need to be strategical with our methods and stay focused. We should educate ourselves on proper ways of searching for information and ways to unclutter email. Many articles I read talked about simple solutions and how we can use these solutions to reduce the stress that results from information overload. Some solutions were having specific device and technology-free time periods, timed technology use, using devices in moderation, or simply taking a break. The biggest solution that I can identify with is to unplug, to disconnect, really take a break and remember what we did before we had all these tools and technology and what it felt like before we had all these wonderful devices to stare at. It will be beneficial not just to our minds and our bodies, but also our souls. Thanks so much for watching and listening to me. I can't wait to hear your feedback.